How big do you think the Distortus Rex is? It's clear that the new mutant dinosaur is bigger than any land predator we have seen in the Jurassic franchise so far. But how massive is this thing really? Using scenes from the movie combined with informational material used to help chart the size of these animals, we will slowly pinpoint the near exact measurements of this new beast. In the end, we're going to compare it to some of the biggest creatures from the franchise to see where it ranks. So, stick around and subscribe if you haven't already, and let's figure out how big the DRex is.
Please open the door for me!
This franchise never steered away from making a spectacle of truly uber-sized dinosaurs. From the Brachiosaurus capturing the hearts and minds of audiences over 30 years ago, to the iconic TRex, the infamous Spinosaurus and Indominus Rex, and most recently, the Giganotosaurus. The importance of larger dinosaurs in the franchise has always remained consistent, and for good reason. Ultimately, we've never seen anything even remotely as large as some of these dinosaurs walking our planet. Whales can be larger than dinosaurs, but most of us will never see them beyond videos which typically don't show the sheer size of these things in a way that we resonate with. I got to see some whales a few years back now and they were huge, but you never really could get a full-on view of them like you could if they were walking on the land. Massive dinosaurs in our films allow us to experience that bit of wonder of how it really would have been like to walk around with giants. And each film in this series has tried to one-up the prior with an even bigger new species. Now, the DRex is next in line. And if this video gets 2,000 likes, I'll make more videos like it, so you know what to do. Where does this monstrous beast rank in the size charts? It wasn't always so massive. There was a time when it was small, but it grew and grew. To get as accurate as possible in determining the total size of the Distortus Rex during the events of Jurassic World Rebirth, we have this size chart that was released into the wild some months back now after the first trailer for the film aired. This document is said to be a guide that the creators of the film used to keep sizing consistent across all forms of media and production. And with it, we have the rough size of the Distortus Rex. The document that refers to the DRex as Villain 1 was likely used to help keep the name a secret during early production. And we can see already from the silhouette representation here that the DRex is much larger than the Tyrannosaurus Rex. We can see that the forelimbs alone for the DRex are practically the same height as the entire Tyrannosaurus Rex, coming at around 18 to 20 feet, nearly 6 meters tall, which is just flat out insane. The head alone for the DRex appears to be roughly 3 times the size of the mighty T-Rex skull, which I've seen how big the famous Rex Sue's skull is, and it's big. A large Rex's skull could have gotten up to 5 feet in length. To think that this mutant's head dwarfs a Tyrannosaurus Rex's is wild. And this all translates to the total height of the Distortus Rex. Its official height as of right now is 26 feet or over 8 meters tall. And this likely doesn't even put into the equation of how tall the beast would be if reared up more on its back legs. Using calculated guesstimates based off of the information we have, and using outside sources like the humans and structures around the monster in certain shots, the DRex might reach heights of 35 feet, over 10 meters when not in a neutral stance. To put this into perspective, the DRex could reach up and grab a brachiosaur's neck and choke it to death. But how long is the DRex if you stretched it out from the top of its snout to the end of its tail? Due to the unnatural posture of the DRex, its total length is relatively in line with the prior big predators in the franchise. According to the document, the DRex stretches out to 48 feet, nearly 15 meters long. And now for the last factor of size, that for some reason always goes unchecked in these sort of things. I guess the weight doesn't matter so much when it's a movie, but I'm not going to settle for that. Let's try to figure this thing out. The size chart doesn't express anything about the weights of any of the animals, let alone the DRex. We can make a rough estimate by using some of the official stats released for Rebirth so far, and by using some information from the past. According to the promotional material for the film, the megasauropod, the Titanosaurus, weighs 29,000 pounds. Now, I'm gonna be very blunt here. Someone on the Jurassic World marketing team or somewhere in production severely messed up. It's a very known fact that the sauropods were much heavier than this, many of them reaching well over 100,000 pounds on the scale. So how this beast, which appears to be many times the size of a T-Rex, only weighs roughly 5 tons more than a Tyrannosaur is simply just wrong. But for now it's official, and we will use it to make our mass estimate using its size compared to the DRex. I'm still assuming the marketing person who made this forgot to add a 1 in front of the 29,000. 129,000 pounds makes a lot more sense, because that's more in line with how heavy we think these things were in real life. But we can't let it weigh us down, get it? So I have 2 total mass guesstimates. The one based off this flawed Rebirth marketing measurement, which would put the DRex at around 25,000 pounds. Due to it nearly being the same size as the Titanosaurus, minus the long neck and tail. If we used common sense and the knowledge we have on sauropods, and on top of that throwing in the size chart for reference, I would think that DRex would be closer to 35,000 pounds in weight, about twice that of a Tyrannosaurus Rex, which based on these images adds up, don't you agree? Now that we have our measurements for the Distortus Rex, let's see where it ranks. It's nearly 10 feet taller than the big 3, the real predators, the T-Rex, Spinosaurus, and Giganotosaurus, and it's around 4 feet or so taller than the Indominus Rex, as of right now the previous largest land predator in the series, hybrids included. Lengthwise, it's right in line with all of them, but it's not the longest. It comes in just a few feet shorter than the total length of the Indominus Rex. Weight-wise, it's once again hard to pinpoint any accurate measurement here, but one thing is very clear regardless of the exact numbers. It's the heaviest land predator to ever be seen in a Jurassic film. Now, going forward, they can't keep making the big bad dino be bigger and bigger every movie. There will be a point to where they won't get away with kaiju-sized dinosaurs, so it's going to get only harder and harder to make new threats in this franchise. But hey, that's why these people get paid millions of dollars, right? So overall, the Distortus Rex is the biggest predator, not including the Mosasaurus in the Jurassic franchise so far. That's how big the DRex really is. So what do you think about this kaiju-sized mutant dinosaur? Make sure and let me know in the comments and spread this video around so everyone knows just how big this thing is. Oh, and someone go tell the Jurassic World Rebirth marketing team that there better be a reason for them thinking the largest dinosaur ever only weighs about 1/3 of what paleontologists think the Brachiosaurus did, which is a smaller sauropod than the Titanosaurus. I'm way too caught up by this, but jokes aside, making errors like this doesn't help make it look like your billion-dollar franchise team knows what they are talking about, but hey, as long as the movie's good, right? This sort of stuff can be overlooked. As always everyone, this has been Jacob, and I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys in the next one.